Hey, I am Gibby Eagle. I am a Southwest Florida native, born and raised. I have been here for about 34 years, and I am also in real estate. I service the Southwest Florida area, Lee County, Collier, Charlotte County. And I wanted to do a video about the 5 reasons not to move to Florida, especially if you are not familiar with these. It can kind of be a shock when you decide to make the decision to move here. So number 1 is the weather. Everyone thinks that it's happy hour every day, that it's sun shining and just Jimmy Buffett playing in the background, and it's just rainbows and butterflies all the time. Actually, that's not true. You have to deal with practically summer weather year-round. Once it hits about May, you can expect a rain shower every day around 4 o'clock. That can be whether it's 5 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, or ruin the rest of your night. You never know until it happens and it's gone. And then you're like, how did that just happen? Florida is also probably the only state that you can have a sun shower when it's sunny and raining at the same time. Obviously, the temperatures here in the summertime are about 90 degrees. I think that is when people that moved here realize that they should not have done that. The rest of the year, you can kind of expect it to be, feel like 80, even if it's not. Sometimes in the winter, we do get the weather below 60. So those are our few winter months when you can actually wear the clothing that you have stashed away in another closet, your boots and cute jackets and all that. But I mean, my wardrobe here consists of flip-flops, tank top, shorts, and honestly, you kind of determine how your day's going to go or what you're going to be wearing by walking outside and determining if it's too humid to do your hair, or if you're wearing shorts that day and flip-flops, or you're putting on sneakers or rain shoes because it's raining. You just never know, but you can tell by the time you walk out in the morning how the rest of the weather is going to be. So obviously, the coastal areas is where it's going to be the hottest. We're surrounded by water, but towards the center of the state, you can find some places that will get a little bit cooler weather, like Gainesville or Orlando, Ocala, Tallahassee, obviously. But the average temperature in the state of Florida is 72 degrees. Down here, it's more like 85. But also, we do have our hurricane seasons. Hurricane season starts in June and goes till about November. This is where you start to see the Florida man side of people come out, because you have one side that is going to get everything possible to stock up and prepping their house. And then you have the other side that is way too old school Florida to even do anything, and they're just going to ride it out as it comes. So, and then we start panicking. So that is kind of when also people from out of state, decide you're either in it now or you're moving away when this is over. So that's kind of your initiation in Florida. We also have, obviously, it's hot. People don't realize how hot it is. I've had people come down and stay in my Airbnb and text me within 4 hours and say, hey, my sister has sun poisoning. Where's the nearest hospital? You've got to cover up, wear sunscreen, and stay hydrated. Obviously, though, we do have 271 sunny days in Florida. So that is a big reason why people move here, just to be in the outdoors. So obviously, the weather isn't always bad, but you just have to be prepared for it. It's definitely not like any other state. I think we are the second most humid state in the country, Alaska being number 1, which is super surprising. But yeah, so the second thing is our high population. Being born and raised here, it is absolutely insane to see the amount of growth that we've had. When I graduated high school in 2007, our population was 1.8 million. Coming out of 2022, we were at, 18 million. I don't know where my head's at. We had 18 million people. And then come 2022, we were at 22.2 million people. So that is insane to me. You drive all over the place, and the amount of growth is just absolutely insane to see. So all of us that have been native here, we're still having a problem adjusting to it, but I personally love it because I know that we grow off tourism. We grow off of all of that, and it's so great to see people enjoying the area. with that high population, Florida's the third fastest growing state in the United States. So that's crazy. That is, I mean, it's not crazy. I mean, we have beautiful beaches, and we are the fishing capital and boating capital of the world. So I can understand why people are moving here, but it's just crazy. We are the third fastest growing state in the U.S. Jacksonville, Orlando, Fort Myers, and Cape Coral, and Naples all ranked 5 of the fast growing cities in Florida. And I service Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples areas. So, I mean, that's insane. The 5 fastest growing cities. So, and I'm a part of that. So it's nuts to see. And then obviously we used to have seasons around here. And obviously I think our seasons are kind of gone now. It's just a year round, fluctuation of people. People aren't leaving, and it's great. But that means we have people traveling here that are domestic travelers, international travelers, and we are number 2 in the country for retirement places. So just imagine all of that on the road. And if you have not seen Florida Man, that's when it comes out, is when people start bickering and getting road rage. You see those Florida Man videos all the time. So yeah, population is huge. COVID started our boom here. We started to get an influx people from, New York, New Jersey, Colorado. People want low income taxes or no income taxes. They want freedom, and obviously the sunshine that brings people here. But that's when our boom started. And then the third thing is, one of my worst things is the wildlife and insects here. We have alligators, creepy bugs, dangerous wildlife, mosquitoes, no-see-ums. We are ranked number 4 in the country for biodiversity. So we're home to many types of bugs and insects and wildlife and plants. And we're also ranked number 1 for the highest number of invasive species. So, I mean, picture just about anything. We are also the top location for exotic reptile trade. So we have a lot of exotic animals. Fun fact is when Hurricane Andrew hit in 1992, that's when we started to get the invasive species, think huge iguanas, pythons, stuff like that. When the hurricane hit, that is when, exotic household animals got out, and they decided to head to the Everglades. So Everglades is full of crocodiles, pythons, rattlesnakes, alligators. So just think of that. And alligators are not what, Florida Man tries to make it seem. You may have seen videos of people, swimming with the alligators, feeding them. Absolutely don't do that. First of all, illegal to feed them, but they're not cuddly. They are not, and they're starting to get used to being around humanity, just because people are, feeding them or going too close to them. It's required or you should stay within 50 feet of an alligator, especially if you have a dog, walking a dog in Florida along waterways. I would stay clear. We've had some sad instances there too. Alligators, the biggest one they caught in Florida was 14 feet and 3 inches, and that was caught in Brevard County. They have also seemed to have gained a new skill, climbing chain link fences. If you see a body of water, more than likely there is an alligator in there. They have also been known to get into people's swimming pools. So it's a very interesting. But one thing that scares me more than alligators is the mosquitoes and the no-see-ums. Absolutely terrible. I'm born and raised here. I can't even walk outside without getting bit up. It's never ending. I've even had to hire Mosquito Joe to come out and spray monthly to get rid of them. I think they've evolved where bug spray and things don't even work for them anymore. So they are a nuisance. I think that I'm more terrified of them than I am alligators. It's terrible. And literally nothing works to get rid of them. We also have iguanas and lizards. I call them mini dinosaurs. It's funny because in the winter times we start to see falling iguanas. They are falling out of trees because they are actually freezing and going into a coma. But what a lot of people don't know is that once they're unfrozen, they do come back alive. So there's actually been, fun fact, people that have loaded the iguanas into their car, and some, just different. A lot of people, there's different cultures that actually eat iguanas. Sorry, I was trying to figure out how to word that. And so they've loaded them into their vehicles, and once they start to warm up, they come alive. So imagine a bunch of what I call mini dinosaurs running around your car. So yes, and then we also do have dangerous wildlife, a whole assortment of them. Black bears, we have bull sharks, jellyfish, fire ants, rattlesnakes, feral hogs, ticks, coyotes. I mean, you name it, it's in Florida. We also have flying cockroaches. They are also known as palmetto bugs, but you see them in your house and it's a vicious little thing. Terrifying. Think of a exoskeleton, just nasty little bug. I'm also afraid of those more than I'm afraid of alligators. No-see-ums, mosquitoes, and cockroaches. So add that to the list. And then we have our terrible tap water. This, for some reason, and actually I know because I've visited Michigan many a times, and it was so nice to be able to drink the water right out of the tap. You don't do that here. If it's the last thing left, I will not drink the tap water. It is full of calcium and magnesium because Florida is built off of so much limestone. So all of that is built up into the water. So it just gives you a nasty taste. We're known as a hard water state. It's just gross. It's full of lots of contaminants, and I just won't do it. If I drink it, I boil it. But it's funny because people coming from Colorado or, northern states that you can drink the tap water, it tastes so good. And when they come here, they're like, what is wrong with your tap? So not my favorite thing. It's also terrible on appliances, your hair. There are so many things. But you can do things to improve those, like water softeners or filters or whole home, different water filters on there. So a lot of people from those states do complain, especially New York and New Jersey. We don't have your water here to make the best pizza. That is one thing that I see that people are like, where can I find a New York style pizza? So that does affect that. So we also do have an issue with our homeowners insurance. This is number 5. This is huge. Homeowners insurance, we have, we're ranked number 17 in the country for the worst prices in homeowners insurance. And this is due to us being surrounded by water. I mean, we are prone to storms, and a lot of insurance companies have started to get to a point where they can't pay off their debts and they can't afford to stay here. So it is slim pickings here. Our rates actually also triple the national average. I know the national average is about $1,544 for homeowners insurance, and in Florida the average is about $4,200. So you kind of just have to prepare yourself for that we don't have a lot of options here. So prepare yourself with that before you start buying a home to make sure it is affordable. What I highly recommend my buyers doing here is getting a home inspection, wind mitigation, and 4-point immediately, and then starting to shop insurance prior to your due diligence period being over. That will save you that time if you realize that, hey, it's not affordable. And in Florida, you have a 15-day due diligence to back away at any time. So you would be protected on a financial standpoint there. And then also flood insurance. A lot of places in Southwest Florida are in flood zones. If you happen to not be, you don't have to have that if you are not financing the property. But I personally highly recommend getting flood insurance, even if you're not in a flood zone. There are a lot cheaper rates if you're outside of a flood zone, but you have that protection. And then if for any reason you were added into a flood zone at any point, you would be grandfathered in at that price, and obviously it could increase. But homeowners insurance is just a pain in the butt. So make sure if you're buying, prepare yourself that it's not going to be cheap. You're going to be shocked at the sticker price, and just make it a point to do that within the first or during your due diligence period. So if it's not 15 days, you may negotiate it less. So homeowners insurance is just terrible. And obviously it's gotten worse since Hurricane Ian. So those are my top reasons why for me being a Floridian native to here, those are things that, people don't realize when they come here. The weather is not always bright and shiny. We have a high growing population. We have lots of mosquitoes and oceums and reptiles and sharks and bugs and whatever it's just gross. Our tap water is terrible. And homeowners insurance is the worst in the country. Well, actually not the worst. We're about number 4, I think I said. So those are my reasons. Stay tuned for more videos around this area in Florida. Keep you entertained. Again, my name is Gibby Eagle, and I'm a Southwest Florida real estate agent.